We are the Vessel Project. Vessel Project is a mutual aid grassroots organization that was founded in the Highway 14 Walmart parking lot on Valentine's Day of 2021.
Yes, we were founded on the principles of solidarity and with an understanding that, the government systems were not put in place to meet all of our basic needs, such as emergency shelter and things like that. We know that there are processes in place to be able to get that sort of assistance. So Dominique and I wanted to start an organization where we could meet people's immediate needs without so much red tape, and we could control where our funding was going. So that's how we got started.
It started out of necessity during Winter Storm Uri, literally combing the streets with a few of our friends to make sure that no one froze to death, that we didn't miss anybody. We began crowdsourcing funds on social media through our community members, and once the storm was over, we realized that the need was still present and great, and so we have continued to work. We've now shifted our focus a little bit to kind of case management. We are helping our friends acquire resources. We're helping them with their FEMA cases. We're helping them with their rental assistance applications. We have done food distributions and supply distributions, and we really are just trying to meet people where they are and provide them the help that they need without barriers, without asking a ton of questions, just trying to help restore their dignity and help them get their lives back on track.
Right, and we felt like we were the right people to do this because of our own unique experiences with post-disaster crisis. For myself, as a single mom with 6 children, and I wasn't immediately allowed to go back to my home. My home is still deemed unlivable by the owners of the houses that I live in. And so I was commuting from Houston back to Lake Charles every day to get here to go to work and bring my children to school and different things. So we just felt like we were in it as well. We are in this, we are community members. We weren't getting the resources we needed. Dominique can tell her story of what she's going through, but we felt like we needed to try to reach those community members who were kind of feeling the same things we were feeling and make sure that they were safe during another disaster after, they had already been through so much with COVID, then 2 hurricanes, and then now a freeze. So we wanted to make sure we were reaching them, looking for them, looking in the places where you wouldn't typically look for people. You might see a house and you feel like, oh, they're safe, they're in that house, but you don't know that that house is just a shell and they don't have insulation. So that sort of freezing weather would have frozen them. So that people started off asking us for blankets and heaters, and then it turned into, hey, you're not going to be able to stay here if the electricity is off. Those heaters are not going to work. So let us put you in a hotel room. We know that you're safe. And then throughout that course, people were losing their water because the pipes were freezing. So we had to get them to somewhere where they could have safe drinking water, lights. We had children who, needed oxygen tanks, or community members who needed their oxygen and they relied on water, so they couldn't stay in their homes with no water. So that's just some of the things we did in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, we also we had over 55 people in 30 plus hotel rooms in Calcasieu Parish, and during their time that they stayed under our care, we fed them every day. We made sure they had groceries. We made sure that they had water, and we also did our best to figure out what their life situations were and how we could help them moving forward. Some of the families that we helped during the freeze haven't needed any additional assistance, but a lot of the families that we helped during the freeze, we're still helping get them groceries weekly. Like I mentioned earlier, we've helped them with their FEMA cases, rental assistance. Some of them we've helped them get jobs and permanent housing. So yeah, we really have it's been on our heart to help meet our friends where they are and do what we can to help them. Like she mentioned earlier, I'm still displaced. We're coming up on 9 months
now?
9 months. Yeah. So we have an interesting situation with our home and insurance, like many people, and we haven't even begun work on it. So I'm unsure when I'll be able to live in my house again, which is a difficult situation. But if I hadn't been dealing with that, I wouldn't have understood the seriousness of the situation we were facing when the storm began, and it wouldn't have been on my radar, to look for and remember all of the people in our community who are suffering from housing insecurity or whose homes are not, safe to live in extreme conditions. So.
Right. And Dominique and I we met on Facebook before we met in person. And I was just kind of reaching out to people like, who can help us? Us two alone couldn't pay for those hotels. So I started.
We tried.
we did try. We ran those bills up, but we started reaching out to community members. Yeah. And so I looked at to see who was running for office, and I saw several names on there, and I just got in their inboxes, started inboxing people. And I know I'm gonna miss somebody, but some of the people who were there with us from day one, who are still with us today, Joshua Lewis, who's running for mayor. As soon as I inboxed him, I think he sent me his phone number. I sent him my number. He called me and he was like, hey, where can I meet you? I got these things I can deliver on what you need done. I was like, hey, I need you to do this, and this. I need you to go to Jennings and get some heaters. And he was like, hold on, let's make a plan. I was like, I really don't have time to make a plan. I'm trying to help people. And he was like, okay, just tell me what you want me to do. So he just got out there. He really helped me. Again, Dominique and I are just two females. It's not that we were scared to go into some of these places, but we were getting requests like, hey, there's a guy sleeping in a dumpster over here. There's somebody behind the Dollar General. We would call Josh. Hey, Josh, can you go look? And he was, yeah, I got that, no problem. He was picking up these people and their whole life and transporting them to hotels and getting them in the room and getting them food and doing whatever it took to make sure those people were safe. We had families sleeping in cars, and he would call and say, hey, they won't leave their car because their car is their home. And we're like, what can we do to make them move their car? And he's like, well, they need some tires because the car is on flat. Okay, we can pay for tires so that they can move their car. And then he would call back, we can't get the tires on, we need to take it over here. Okay, we'll pay for that. Whatever we had to do to make sure that nobody froze to death, none of the people who fell through the crack, we did it. Fantasy Brown was there. She ran for city council for her district, and she was there from day one. She was doing ride-alongs with Josh, helping to pick people up, making sandwiches, putting them in bags so that we could feed people. They were getting very personal with a lot of the community members we were helping, seeing what other needs that they had as far as babies who needed diapers, children who needed milk. The needs were just great, and Dominique and I were just steadily raising the funds. How else can we help? How can we help? Because when you meet somebody who needs help and they're afraid to ask for their help, a lot of times you have to try to look at their whole situation to see, how can I move this person from this point to this point without taking away their dignity or taking away without making them feel empowered. So a lot of the families, we would just say, hey, we'll give you the money, you can pay for their hotel room, just send us the receipt, because we didn't want them to feel like we were escorting them to a shelter and making them feel less than or feeling like they couldn't care for themselves. So we tried to empower them along the way. We came up with plans for them. We asked them, how can we help you to get out of this situation in the long run? And some of the things were very simple. Some people just needed helps with deposits or IDs or social security cards or birth certificates for their children, help with filing for their income tax, or some people hadn't got their first stimulus. It was small things that made them feel like a whole person. And so those were the things that we did during the freeze. And ultimately, from February the 13th through February the 17th, 18th, we had helped about 300 people across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas, because we were getting, so many calls, so many requests.
one of the best parts of all of this, especially when we would be helping people and they would say thank you, and they would kind of ask like, how are you doing this? And when we told them, community members, mostly in Lake Charles, they've donated this money. They've sent it to us because they want to help their neighbors, they want to help their community. And it was just, it really was special. It made them feel great. It made them feel loved. It made them feel taken care of. So we came up with the term, or the name, Vessel Project, because Roishetta and I really just became vessels for the love of our community to flow through, to bless all of our neighbors, to take care of all of our neighbors. And even though we were going through this really difficult, stressful time, it was amazing every single day that week to be able to post on our social media what we needed for the people we were taking care of, and to see every single need taken care of, and not just taken care of, exceeded. It was really, it was incredible. It was like standing in a Bible story. We would start the day off with this incredible list of needs, and we weren't sure how we were going to take care of them, but we would speak them out loud on Facebook Live or make posts about them, and reach out to the little network we created to let them know what was needed. And somehow every single day, every need was met. And like Roishetta mentioned earlier, we were helping people in Texas and Mississippi. We created these little micro networks in those areas as well. We had this wonderful friend, Bethany Moses, who lives in the Dallas area,
she's gonna kill us for saying her name.
She was helping us she was helping us provide resources to people in the Texas area. At a certain point, we weren't able to provide funding for people in Texas anymore. So she was like our resource bank. We would say, we have someone who needs this. Who do you know who could help? So Vessel Project is us, but it's not just us. It's all of you following our posts and contributing your dollars and sharing and engaging with us is what has made this project possible. I mean, I think we're pretty awesome and powerful, but we would not have been able to do any of this. We wouldn't be able to continue doing this without the safety net of people in our community who have supported us and who continue to support us. And now we even have folks that we helped during the storm that have turned around and donated to help other community members.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Dominique said safety net, and that's kind of what we want to be. We're vessels who the community can use to flow their resources to. When people are like, how can I help? I want to help. So they send us a donation, and then we use those donations to help catch the people who are falling through the cracks of the larger organization. So, this big organization might be giving away furniture. Well, somebody might be calling us saying, hey, I need furniture. Well, this organization is giving away furniture. Let's see how we can get you on their list. And they might need something as simple as their W-2s from 2019. And so Dominique and I can say, hey, we can print that for you. We can pull that up for you. And then you can go and apply with this larger organization who is offering that service. Or like she said earlier, we're assisting with the rental assistance application or the FEMA application. We might not be able to pay everyone's rent all the time, but we know the parish has money to pay rent. So let's see how we can assist you with filling out that application so that you can qualify for that assistance that's already out there.
We just want to be a bridge and a connecting point for all of the resources that the community has to offer. We want to work with all the organizations in our area that are already providing resources and relief for folks. We want to work with all the church groups. We want to work with everybody. We want to really reinvigorate the sense of community and reestablish the sense of community in our area and support each other, because it takes all of us.
It does. And like I was saying earlier, we reached out to people, and there's still several of those people who are helping us, who guide us. And who tell us, hey, you all need to be at this meeting, you all need to be over here. So, I mean, we have people like Pastor Braylon Harris, who, I mean, he has been very, very helpful. And just Will Clofus, they have helped us in ways immeasurable, because like we said, you know, on the surface, it looks like it's just Roishetta and Dominique. And I mean, we're like a 24-hour hotline. We're getting calls and texts and emails all day and all night. And we assist as soon as we get the request. We don't have like a waiting period. If you call us and you're sleeping in your car, then we're going to get you in a hotel. But with that, we call on these people when we get these calls. So it might be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're calling Josh. We're calling Will. We're calling Braylon. Hey, can you pick this family up? Can you bring them to the hotel? Hey, Sean Ardoin, because he's one of our other helpers. Can you go and get groceries from Walmart for this family? Can you go to this, deliver things over here? So we're calling these community members who we've sort of created this network with, and we're still working together. Breonna Robinson, she has a organization, the 337 Vote Project. You know, we're calling her, hey, we need you to put out a flyer. We need you to make a Facebook post because we need money for a family. She's making those posts. Kimberly Ward with the Apartment Association. Hey, Kim, we have people who need assistance with these applications. Can you do it? Yes, they can come to my office. They can get on the computer. They can do this. Kristen Gonzalez with SWLA Do No Harm. We're calling her when we have situations that we feel like people need the type of assistance that she provides, and she goes out. And all of these people that we call, and the reason I'm saying this is there's no hesitation, right? Because people know the need that is here, and the need here is not only does it seem insurmountable, but it's also very unique because we were hit by 2 major hurricanes back to back after we were already in a stay-at-home order because of COVID, and then we were hit with this ice storm. So you had a situation where people were not working. They had to evacuate for months at a time, pay all these costs that they had not planned for, and then they come back to their damaged homes, their damaged dwellings that were already unsafe, and now you have a freeze that came through that brought even more damage. And so I think in the grand scheme of things and everything that was going on in the world with COVID, a lot of what was going on in Southwest Louisiana was looked over. I don't really necessarily think it was on purpose. I just feel like it was so much going on that this little corner of the world wasn't that important. We're not big New Orleans, we're not big New York, we're not a big city. We're Southwest Louisiana, but this is home. This is home for us, and we wanted to restore home as much as possible. So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah. So. And we thank everybody, like I said, for their continued support. It really has just been an incredible community effort. And a few other organizations I want to mention that have helped us out. Cajun Navy has been awesome. We did a food distribution with Second Harvest,
yes.
Enterprise Boulevard Church of Christ, as well as Mill Street
Church of Christ.
Yeah.
Water's Edge. Water's Edge. This is what they do. They work with the chronically homeless year round, and Kelly and Lisa have been doing this for years, and we could only hope to one day do and reach as many people as they are. So we look up to those sort of organizations, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for everything that they've done for us to get us to this point.
And again, it's just been a community effort. It really is. It's just been amazing to be able to participate as a community in helping our neighbors. And we are so grateful to everybody who's assisted us. And we hope that we plan to be helping people in our community and giving you an opportunity to help people in our community for a long time.
And before we go, we just want to ensure everybody and let you all know that this is not the end of the Vessel Project. Just because things are calming down after the freeze, it's just the beginning. We have several things in store We're planning to do like a vaccination hub. We're planning
Hopefully.
to do hot meals in the very near future. More food distribution, supply distributions. So we're here and we're here to stay. So,
and once COVID restrictions are lifted and it's safe, we really just can't wait to see everybody and give everybody a chance to connect and meet some of the community members that they've been helping us support.
Yep.
Hey, what's up? It's Carrie Chabis, and I want to take a second to thank Vessel Project for all your great work in our community. There are so many people that are in need, and you guys have continued to be the need for people in need. And we thank you so much for your diligence, your hard work, and your consistency. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vessel Project, for all that you do for our community.
I'm so grateful that you guys identify the needs of our community members. Thank you, Vessel Project.
I can say a lot, but I just want to thank the Vessel Project for their involvement in our community and for how involved they keep me with just noticing things that a lot of us don't. So thank you guys so much.
Hey, just wanted to say a big thank you to the Vessel Project for their extraordinary work.